Good afternoon, my name is Oggie Banjac. In today's presentation, I will discuss the topic of change management and the relative issues as well as implications. The presentation will also outline a problem question which is to be further analyzed in Assignment 3. First of all, what is change? Well, change is defined as an act or a process through which something becomes different. With this in mind, change in organizations is defined as a set of ideas and values, strategies and techniques based on behavioral science that is used for the process of planned change and organizational work environments. Change in organization generally refers to modifications to one or many aspects of organization. Any adjustment in the organizational structure, people, or technology. Change in organizations is necessary in order for an organization to adapt to a dynamic environment and remain competitive. Given this context, what does change management refer to? Change management refers to the organization of processes in correlation with the execution of major changes in IT, infrastructures, organizational structures, and task allocations. In addition to this, it refers to the management regarding the costs of change, risks associated with change, and the overall optimization of benefits. The main drivers of change in an IT organization fall into two main categories, namely internal and/or external forces of change. Internal forces of change include that of strategic direction, example of which would be altering business processes, staff, example of which would be expanding workforce, attitudes, and technology, example of which would be the requirement of implementing new technology in line with strategic or business direction. External forces of change include that of political, such as government regulations, economical, social, and technological, such as that of developments and advancements in new systems and network technologies. With this in mind, why is the practice of change management considered important? If change occurs within an organization, such as the ones identified in the previous slide, then there is a high probability that those changes will have a significant bearing on staff, infrastructure, as well as business processes. To minimize the effects and impacts of having unintended negative outcomes, change management methodologies in place with skilled resource delivery is a requirement. By applying a structured framework of methods, tools, processes in managing change, the success of organizational change can be achieved. Applying a change management framework increases the probability of staying on schedule, budget, resulting in higher benefit realization and returns on investment. In many cases, constant change is necessary for organizations to survive, especially IT organizations. Page indicates that changes to the IT environment and infrastructure are now a fact of life, with the provision of IT services being critical to the delivery of mainstream business objectives and goals. It is an undisputable fact that IT is changing at an unprecedented rate. Increased investment in IT has been one of the main drivers of change. Although a wide variety of IT exists currently, continued changes will occur due to advancements in communications, data sharing, systems, and network technologies, especially within the next few years. This change challenges IT managers. A survey of 50 US Chief Information Officers indicated that rapidly changing IT was the second most important issue. A survey of IT managers aimed at identifying top Canadian IT issues indicated that keeping up with the rapidly changing IT was the second most important issue. A survey of European IT managers demonstrated that 61% of respondents indicated that keeping up with emerging IT was deemed critical. However, in contrast to this, the average failure rate for change projects is approximately 66%. This figure rises to 90% when culture change is involved. Overall, 6% of change management projects are deemed completely successful. These factors demonstrate that the need of effective change management in organizations. Costs of change have a bearing on the following: IT organizations in the financial sense, employees emotionally, which will be discussed later on, customer experiences, as well as community well-being. Change resistance is another major implication. Generally, change resistance refers to the act of conflicting or struggling with modifications that alter the status quo in the organization. In the context of IT organizational change, the main contributing factors to change resistance include complacency, fear of the new, ignorance, as well as misunderstanding of the contents in regards to advantages and disadvantages. Negative emotions also have some bearing on change resistance. A survey found that 44% of staff experienced anxiety, 22% experienced confusion, 23% experienced frustration, and 24% experienced fatigue. In response to the issue identified regarding the change management in the context of IT organizations, the following problem question has been developed. How can change management strategies be optimized in order to maximize benefits while ensuring change resistance and relative costs are kept to a minimum? The following problem question opens the door for a few key issues to be analyzed. These include the governing factors behind change management and its implementation in IT organizations, change resistance management methods in line with change management strategies, as well as the costs and returns on investments associated with maximizing benefits of change management. I thank you very much for listening to my presentation on the topic of change management.